Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
A North Fargo woman is looking for answers after she says a man assaulted her and took off. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Katie Opperly. She says he came into her home early yesterday morning. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard met up with the woman that returned home from the hospital today and has her story.
Multiple staples across the head, a slit throat, and a bloody floor. It's the aftermath of what Kimberly Rieger says was a night that keeps replaying in her mind.
Got really aggressive and obstinate with me, and I was telling him to leave, and he hit me in the mouth, and then I tried hitting him back, and then that mug came in my head.
Rieger says she met a man from Milwaukee through a mutual friend. She says he told her he had no place to stay.
I help people out. I feed people sometimes.
So she opened her door for him.
I don't know, then he started acting weird on Friday night.
After 2 days, she says he came on to her, forcing her to do things she didn't want to do. That's when he hit her in the mouth.
He tried to hit back. I stood up in the chair I was at. He grabbed a big glass. It was a thick mug and smashed my head right here.
Slitting her throat, too.
They had to put me in surgery for that.
Her sister Amanda says she was on her way back when she saw lights and sirens flashing that Saturday morning. Although we haven't gotten it confirmed with police, dispatch logs state that there was a disturbance at this exact address at that exact time. She says that now she wants the man who assaulted her to be caught before he does this to anyone else. In Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
We've been reaching out to Fargo police for more information about this incident and have not yet heard back. With multiple areas across North Dakota and Minnesota seeing showers this evening, let's check in with Nathan Hopper to see how long we can expect for them to hang around. Nathan?
Yeah, I've been watching this line of showers and storms moving toward us pretty much all evening, and we can look at our Valley Sky Cam here. Looking west, we can see looking basically right at the heart of this line of storms coming toward us. So maybe you'll see some lightning if you're looking west, because that is where the storms are, is west of Fargo. As we speak, you see a long line from Roseau all the way down to Ellendale as this line of storms. Now, they are not severe, but they may be a bit on the strong side as we head toward this evening. Some of the places seeing that heavier rainfall, Page, just outside of Edgeley, heading toward Lisbon. I do expect this to be around Fargo in the next 15 to 20 minutes if it keeps up its current speed of movement to the east around 40 miles per hour. You can see the recent lightning on this, especially near Page there. Seeing some heavy rainfall, even some small hail with this as it is moving toward the area. Now, the biggest hail report we saw was 2.75 inches. That's baseball sized near McCluskey. But now that these storms, Katie, are moving into an area that with a bit less instability, I do expect it to just stay on the bit potent side. I'm not expecting any severe storms with this coming through, but of course we'll talk about timing and when it gets out of here coming up in a couple minutes.
All right, well, thank you, Nathan. 2 people were life flighted to Fargo after hitting a deer with a motorcycle around 9 o'clock last night. Stutsman County officials say 64-year-old Dennis Barton and 62-year-old Darlene Barton of Jamestown were headed south on Highway 20 just north of Jamestown when they hit the deer and crashed. Deputies say they don't have any updates on their condition. Potato Days is officially over, signaling the unofficial end of summer, and the Barnesville Police Department is poking some fun at the event. They posted to their Facebook saying in part, "Good morning, Barnesville, still rubbing sleep out of our eyes here. Anyone else with a potato hangover?" Police say there were a few incidents at Potato Days, including a foot chase, a couple of impaired drivers, and a few car crashes. But for the most part, they say they were happy with the event.
We know that passing those laws will save lives.
In the wake of 2 mass shootings, a gun control group held a rally in West Fargo. They say they support universal background checks and red flag laws. But would these laws stop a mass shooting? Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero dives into some research on whether or not these laws can prevent a mass shooting.
The damp weather wasn't enough to scare away more than a dozen people in West Fargo. Moms Demand Action held a rally in support of gun control measures.
That common sense gun legislation, some regulation can sit alongside the Second Amendment because we know that some regulation will save lives.
Those in attendance are supporting universal background checks and red flag laws.
It keeps guns out of the hands of people who could be dangerous. It doesn't infringe on the rights of somebody who is a sensible person and wants to own a gun.
Universal background checks and red flag laws have been shown to reduce gun violence.
17 states, including the District of Columbia, have passed red flag laws. These laws allow courts, through due process, to temporarily take guns away from people ruled as dangerous or mentally unfit. But do these laws work? In a recent report from the Federal Commission on School Safety, the Trump administration says these laws lower suicide rates. 2 studies, one done by Duke University, says red flag laws keep guns away from suicidal people. But all 3 say that there doesn't appear to be any research showing how these laws can prevent mass shootings, like what happened in Dayton and El Paso. Still, organizers of the West Fargo rally are pushing the federal government to act.
We can't stop. We won't stop. We will keep going until we either change the laws or change Congress.
Federal data also shows the majority of gun-related deaths were suicides, not homicides or mass shootings. In West Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
A Pew study shows 4 in 10 adults in America live with a gun in their home, and in rural areas, that number jumps to 6 in 10. We have some sad news this evening. A 6-month-old from Moorhead who was battling a serious illness has died. We've been following this family's story since the beginning of June, when the baby's sister hosted a lemonade stand to help pay for medical bills. Zephyr Atchison had been at a Twin Cities hospital since his birth. His mom says he died Wednesday with family at his bedside. His funeral services were held in White Shield, North Dakota, and he even got an escort from the McLean County Sheriff's Office. Zephyr's mom says he had a very positive impact in the short time he was here.
He helped a lot of people. There's a lot of people that we don't know, but I feel like we know them now. That's giving us peace, and it helps me know that he had a purpose here.
Zephyr's mom says she hopes to start a foundation in her son's name. Families strolled through Island Park this weekend for arts and crafts. Over 100 vendors set up booths selling pottery, candles, photos, jewelry, and more. Families were able to shop and watch live entertainment featuring some local performers.
To listen to this beautiful girl sing, she's got an amazing voice, 13. All the local vendors, the artists, I think it's great. You know, the talents, a lot of talent here. I love Fargo. We wouldn't move away for nothing.
You can learn more about these vendors on our website. That's valleynewslive.com.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
There's a look to the west from our Valley Skycam. You can see some dark clouds on the horizon there, and that is looking toward a line of showers and storms heading toward the Fargo metro area and to our counties in Minnesota as we speak on our Sunday evening. Temperatures right now at Hector International, we're at 67 degrees with a dew point of 62 degrees. So humidity is right there at 84%. So plenty of moisture in the air for these storms to feed off of. Southeast wind at 18 miles per hour. Not looking to warm us up any, but it is bringing some moisture up from the south, gusting to 30 miles per hour at Hector International this evening. Temperatures in our Minnesota counties, lower 60s, middle 60s along the valley, lower 60s in the rain-cooled Devils Lake and Jamestown. So these storms are moving into an area with cooler air, which is not conducive to keeping these things going as a strong or severe storm. So they're moving into an area of a bit more stable air, which is good news that I'm not expecting these to be severe by the time they reach Fargo, Moorhead, or by the time they reach our Minnesota counties either. And you can see from Roseau all the way down to Ellendale this line of storms with lightning all along it, heavy rainfall, some gusty winds, and some small hail is possible along any of this line, but especially down near Ellendale and Page, where they had some of that heavier lightning and rainfall as we speak. And here's some estimated times of arrival of this line. Crookston around 10:09, Lisbon around 10:30, and Fertile around 10:45, Ada around 10:52. That's if it keeps its current speed of 40 miles per hour to the east. It's about when you can expect the heaviest of that rainfall and the winds to arrive in your area. The hour by hour shows this thing slowly but surely working its way through and clearing by, say, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning out of our eastern counties. Maybe a bit before that in our eastern counties. But then as this low pressure system slowly moves away from us, some moisture actually wraps around that low pressure system and keeps the chance of rainfall in our eastern counties through lunchtime tomorrow. You can see those northwesterly winds are now kicking in, and gusts from the northwest could be up to 25 or 30 miles per hour tomorrow, much like what we saw today, except it'll be out of the northwest. And then as that moisture wraps around this low pressure system, dinner time tomorrow, you should see some scattered shower and storm activity. Looks like a splash and dash type shower or storm with those northwesterly winds kicking up around dinner time tomorrow. But then after the sun sets, we lose the instability to have those storms kind of fire off. So by midnight tomorrow night, I do expect things to be quiet with that northwesterly wind, though still busy, around 10 to 20 miles per hour. And you can see on our hourly forecast, temperatures only topping out around 70 degrees. So not exactly a warm day with that northwesterly wind bringing that cool air in, sustained 10 to 20 miles per hour through the day. There's your hometown forecast. You see those middle 60s in the cooler spots where the rainfall looks to be tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning and afternoon. Just a few scattered thunderstorms in our west of I-29. And here's a beautiful look this is from Carrington, North Dakota, from Dawn. Thanks for sending this in to us at valleynewslive.com. This is from as the storms tonight were rolling into Carrington, so you can see kind of a gloomy look there to those clouds as they moved in. We have to dodge a few showers tomorrow and then dodge a few showers on Tuesday as well. But temperatures the next couple days in the 60s, even a little bit cooler on Tuesday as we head toward the end of the week. Temperatures upper 60s, lower 70s, but plenty of sun is expected for the second half of the work week. And Katie, the next weekend looks pretty good. Temperatures in the low 70s, plenty of sun expected for both Saturday and Sunday of next week.
So if it looks like we can get through Monday, Tuesday, and maybe Wednesday, we'll have a good week after that.
That's exactly right. And there's plenty of dry time this week also.
All right. Well, thank you, Nathan.
You bet.
If you hate connecting flights, we might have some good news for you. Coming up on Valley News Live at 10, an airline is testing extra long flights.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live.